It is now time for the Let's Talk Weddings podcast. Here's your host, wedding DJ and MC of Buzzard Ball DJ Entertainment in Sacramento, California, Steve Buzzard.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in. It is another edition of Let's Talk Weddings. Today, it's Connor and Emma Cable from ECC Productions. They are located in the Northern California area. They serve the Sacramento area as well as the Bay Area. In addition to weddings, they do all sorts of things, but our conversation today will be specifically about weddings. And it's great because it's a husband and wife team, and they do both video and photography. Pretty cool. I think that's a cool thing to be able to offer couples in the wedding industry. Before we get into the conversation, I want to say thank you. First of all, thank you for just stopping by. You know, I'm always curious about who is listening or who is watching. And when I think in my head, I think of, other vendors out there. I remember when I came across a wedding podcast, and I have several that I listen to, but one in particular, Matt Campbell. Well, Matt Campbell was doing a similar thing. He was kind of pulling the curtain back on the wedding industry. I thought that was very cool. And I actually just wanted to duplicate that and then maybe take it a step further. And in fact, Matt Campbell was a guest on this show. That's right. I reached out to him. He was in episode number 2, and here we are on episode number 4. That is one piece of it, of being able to showcase what this industry is all about. So for other vendors. But the other part too is couples out there. Couples, when you do your research, I think the podcast world is a great place to go. So that's why I put this in place to help serve you in different categories. So like last week, we talked with a wedding coordinator. In my first episode, I spoke with another DJ. And in fact, I'll probably have a solo episode or many of them coming out that will talk about different aspects or different parts of the wedding from a DJ standpoint. All of this to help you kind of make that big decision, right? Because you're going to spend a lot of money and you're going to put together valuable time to put the right people in place. Your team is like to call it. You like to have a wedding coordinator. You're going to have a DJ. You'll probably have a photographer. You may have a videographer. You're of course going to have a caterer, and you'll have a venue. Those are kind of the big 6 right there. And I just want to be a part of that experience for you. So I think I know you are going to enjoy this conversation because it is loaded. And I know you're looking at the time. You're saying, wow, it's almost 90 minutes. Well, believe me, there is such good information here, and I never cheat a conversation. That's right. And I wanted to make sure you got everything from a photography standpoint and a videography standpoint as it relates to weddings. So without further ado, enjoy the conversation. All right, everybody. Well, welcome in. It is Let's Talk Weddings. I'm so excited because guess what, folks? It's episode number 4, and we're going to go a little different in our direction and cover another category, very important one in the wedding industry, and that would be photography and videography. Now, normally, those jobs are split up, but in this case, I have a husband and wife combo. Is Connor and Emma Cable from ECC Productions. You can kind of get the initials. You get it? Emma, Connor, Cable Productions. Okay, you got it. Hey guys, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. Not only are they professional videographers and photographers, but also a brand new mom and dad. And we're going to talk about that story a little bit later. We're actually going to tease you on that, but let's find out how is, I know you already have a child, but new child into the world, how is that going based on the business and the busy schedule you guys probably have? That told it all right there. Now, on the audio version, you would not have seen that, but on the video version, I think you got the picture.
All right. It's just managing time, because when we tell the story, obviously we finish an event, so communication with Kevin and those guys, they've been lenient, but we finished everything on time, but it's just it's managing time, and when I can take the baby, she can take the baby, and vice versa.
You know what? I'm silly to actually make this wait because I think the story is too good and it may be my best wedding story. So before we dive into the company information, we've mentioned what Connor and Emma do, but we just recently worked a wedding together and something really crazy happened? I'll let you take it from there. Who's going to tell the story, Connor or Emma?
Okay, yeah, I'll tell a story. So, we were doing a wedding together at Firehouse in Sacramento, and Emma woke up. Keep in mind, she was 35 weeks pregnant. 35 weeks pregnant. Woke up like, I don't feel very good today, and not like normal. And so, anyways, we're like, well, you're the only photographer, so. I'm doing video and my team, and you're going to shoot this. So let's go. And so, we went through the whole day, and literally it was great. The wedding was good.
So much fun. So much dancing.
Yeah, dancing.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was great. And it was fun to see you.
Yeah.
Everybody, it was good food, everything. So anyways, it was a great wedding. Couple was great. Then when we dropped off our team, we got home, and Emma was like, "Oh my God, I'm like, I feel like I'm having contractions." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, you're almost there, so you're gonna feel those." And then all of a sudden I start timing them, and I'm like, "Oh my God, like a couple seconds, another one for like over a minute," and I was like, let's go to the hospital now." And then we're going to drop our daughter off at a friend's house. This is literally within 2 minutes of getting home.
We just got home.
Yeah, I called her friend. I'm like, you need to get to labor and delivery right now. Like, we're not going to make it to your house. And within getting to labor and delivery at Sutter and Roseville, she delivered the baby in 2 minutes. And it's crazy is because she had some, the placenta got messed up, and if that baby was born at the wedding, which highly could have been possible, or anything, Emma or the baby, I know it sounds dramatic, but could have died or would have been dead. So it was actually a huge blessing that we just dropped everything, dropped our equipment off, like literally just like go and just.
Also that we were because we also a lot in the Bay Area, so it was good that we were in Sacramento, which doesn't happen super often. So we didn't have a 2.5-hour drive home, which was nice.
Yeah, so everything worked out, and
it was crazy.
Just texted you a picture of the baby, and Kevin was like, hey.
Okay, so that was the craziest part of it, because out of the blue, you texted me, and you'll say, it was something like, you never guess what happened, and it's a picture of Emma with your brand new baby, and I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me. And I think I even said, you're kidding me, right? And it's like, no, it was the real deal.
Yeah.
And I was just like thinking in my head of how everything transpired, because you weren't able to like tell me the whole story and stuff, and I'm like, man, the timing as you just described was absolutely perfect.
And it's funny because I did the same thing to the couple. I literally was like, guys, look what just happened, and they're like, no way. And they I think it was like 2 a.m. and they went to the after party across the bar across the street or through the back way, and they're like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, don't listen to her, she's been drinking. But it was funny.
A wedding to remember.
Yeah.
A wedding to remember. And listen, it's kind of great in a way. Well, it is great in a way because you, again, are another vendor that I've been able to work with a couple of times. And we have formed a great friendship, a great partnership and everything. And so now for the people out there, after that great story to kick off this conversation, talk about your company, what it is, what you guys do, and just give us the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, we do, like you said, photo and video. We love both. We started off with just video, and then Connor grew up learning, like his dad did photo his whole life. So Connor grew up with photo. So then we're like, hold on, why can't we do both? There's good photographers out there, but also a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, like people would show up to a wedding without a flash, and we were just doing video. And me, with growing up with a famous dad who's a photographer, was like, how are you shooting this? We can't even shoot this. Like, I have the best cameras on the market, and like, what are you doing? And so, and we would actually back up and provide the couple pictures because we felt bad. And to the point of like, why are we just not doing this? Like, that's better than 90% out there. We need to just offer this, and yeah. So
we're doing that.
And a lot of corporate.
Yeah, and so. That's how we started.
Yeah,
right?
that's how we started. Yeah, and it's just blown up.
So and I think you mentioned on your website too, like you just kind of mentioned, Emma, you guys are kind of like self-taught on this thing, and I know Connor, we'll talk a little bit about your dad, who, yes, is a famous photographer, but this podcast is about you guys, right? So just kind of take me through that of being able to get into videography and then photography and then figure out, wow, we're going to combo this, because to me it is very unique. Not that you're just a husband and wife combo, which in itself is unique, but the fact that you do offer both services, which I said at the top of the show, usually a split. You usually have a photographer and usually have a videographer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you to it?
Okay, yeah, you can.
I just quick breakdown. I mean, like, I grew up in it. My dad running companies that were in photo memory cards and that stuff, then him getting into it. But then I growing up in it didn't want to be like dad. I was like, the boy, I was like, I don't want to do photography because you do it. So I was like, I'm going to do video. And I trained with some of the best in the industry because my dad was like, great, I'll embrace that. And then here now, hire my son. He does video. And doing that, training with the best. Then I actually completely stepped away, moved to SoCal, didn't touch it. Worked the corporate world for a while. And then came back, and when I met Emma, I was like, I was doing it on the side and stuff like that. But anyways, I was like, we could do this, and I'm going to teach you how to do it, and no offense, you're going to do it my way. Like, it's not going to be easy. I'm going to be really hard on you, but you're going to be the best. And this is how we're going to build it. And teaching her and her learning, being a couple is not easy to critique each other, because business and relationship, it's just, different. You want to go, hey, why did you do that with the sound? And then someone's like, why are you telling me that? A lot of people get defensive, and it's not easy. But being able to learn and basically be like, what are you doing? Do this. And even she can tell me now, because she's been doing it, you need to do this because this is the better way, and this is what's going to get us a better result.
We learn to keep it separate, marriage, working together. It's also awesome that we work together because we can yell at each other at the wedding, get out of my shot, or so it's all positive and negative. But he taught me everything, and I learned everything. I'm still always learning. You never, even when you're older, you never.
It's like letting a bird fly, pushing him off the branch, fly. I mean, the first wedding she did on her own, she got lost in the middle of Tahoe for the heads of Nike, and she crushed it, but she got lost, and the police officer had to take her to the
it was another crazy story, but
Another exciting tale, right?
There's so many in this industry, as you know, they're never ending.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the kind of the how did you start thing, kind of a little bit more on the photography side, like Emma. So for you, kind of take me through that process, because you obviously learned the videography side so that you two could work together, but then kind of took a leap, I guess, to do the photography side. How did you train yourself there? You had a famous father-in-law, but was he a part of that process?
No, not at all. Honestly, it was all Connor. Connor, of course, always picks his dad's brain here and there.
I also shoot for him, so.
Got it. That's right, because you do that too as well.
Yeah, but Connor taught me everything. Photo, video, how the flash works, how to set up the flash, since that's our main thing. We know how to use the flash, we know how to manipulate the lighting and everything to make it look awesome. So he taught me all that, and he's still teaching me, like I said, every day something new, and there's always something new coming out, right? And he's Mr. YouTube, always watching videos, looking out for new stuff.
I live on it.
No, but now
you like to go down the rabbit hole, right, Connor?
Oh my God.
Every night I'm in bed just watching YouTube with just new products. Everything's coming out.
And now I feel like it turned out that I love photo, love it so much. I like video, but I just have so much more love for photo. And Connor has gotten amazing in video and editing and filming. He's so creative. So I feel like we found our ways. Yeah, usually it used to be hey, what do you feel like today? But now we're oh yeah, Connor's doing video and I'm doing it's just more set.
It's in a groove. When you're in a groove, you're boom, 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 boom. It's you're at I think the Sterling, and it's we had weddings back to back, and it's we're not gonna switch when you already just know what to do, right? It's working with you and a DJ. we know we're going to get good sound. We know we're going to get this. We know we're going to get a good timeline along with the planner. But I mean, you move the event along, and so stuff like that. So it's just finding that.
Well, these two lovely people, Connor and Emma Cable, are with us. They are with ECC Productions right here in Sacramento, but they also do work in the Bay Area, in the outskirts of Northern California. And I think you hit on a good point there, and this is something I discussed with my last guest, Hannah Baker, wedding coordinator, is kind of finding that groove, right? Like, you have so much experience now that when you do weddings, whether it be location or vendors that you work with, it must feel like, I don't want, it's hard using the word easy, but that's the best word to describe it, right? Like, you're always going to be challenged. And you mentioned maybe doing, a venue that you've done before, but then compare that to maybe, doing something brand new. You go to a brand new venue. Do you like the challenge of that as well?
I feel like that's the fun part of this job.
Yeah.
Like, new venues, new couples, new people, new DJs to work with, new, everything new.
You want to go get
Wait, I hear a voice in the background.
There you want to go get her.
Okay, so Emma is going to dip away,
Yeah,
and we knew this coming in. So just so you know, brand new baby is on the floor right next to him. I believe Aurora now, she's calling because she was watching Bluey, and Bluey is done. Bluey is done.
I think Bluey got a little boring at this point.
You know what? I love Bluey. So with my granddaughter, we watch Bluey all the time. So we'll continue on with Connor, and then Emma will rejoin us. But talk about that. I know Emma started on that, but maybe you can finish that one off.
Yeah. So new is great. We do shoot a ton of venues, but there's a million venues, a million vendors, and we like seeing them. A lot of questions that we do get, and I'm sure you get this too, is like, hey, do you like? Sometimes we shoot like different cities, different states. Like, we go all over, and we're like, hey, you want to preview our venue before? And I'm like, I mean, we don't really need to. Like Emma went into and lighting and knowing where to put flashes and like all of this stuff. And we've done every situation, to barns, to outdoors, to this. We've got it all. I mean, even if there's like a tree in the way, like, okay, great. That's why we have 13-foot stands to get over that. Or, so we get there early and we figure it all out. But again, it's different people. I mean, like, we had a couple move like 10 minutes from us, so we just grabbed dinner with them and we hang out with them now. The one we did with Emma delivering the baby, we're going to have them over for barbecue. They're like the coolest people ever. So, I mean, yeah, it's different all the time. But when we go back, I prefer different. It makes the video more interesting and photos more interesting.
Yeah, good stuff there. And that's the thing is, while we're talking specifically about weddings for this particular podcast, yeah, Connor goes all over the nation. He does a lot of different stuff, which I think is great as an entrepreneur, right? Because that gives you kind of different tools to be able to use within photography and videography. So
wait, one thing. I just want to say, like, a lot of people do use preferred vendors, and I'm not like at a venue, and I just like, it's great, they're trusted. I don't know how they have an in. We're on some preferred vendor lists as well, but some people, if they're always shooting at the same place, they get very complacent.
Yeah,
you never know, like the eye, everybody has a different eye, so sometimes going out and like hiring somebody that you like in your style could be so beneficial to bring him into the venue. So just because you get a vendor list isn't like don't take that all and be like, I have to use those people.
I think that's a great point.
Like, find your people that you want to use and you like, and then bring them in there. You never know. It could be so much better experience.
I think that is a huge point right there. I mean, that's like a gold nugget, because I always say with weddings, the couple has taken that really necessary time to find the right vendors to put in place. So that little discrepancy that you put in there, I think is something that would alert people to say, yeah, maybe I need to look a little bit deeper. Because I think it is easy to go to the preferred vendor list, which in a lot of cases definitely makes sense, right? Because that means if you don't know what a preferred vendor is, in layman's terms, that means the venue, those are the people that they pretty much trust the most, right? And they don't usually like to go outside of their preferred vendor list. Some are a little bit more looser, but with Connor and Emma and like myself, we're on certain preferred vendor lists, but we like to really think that we are independent contractors. Is that a fair statement?
100%. Yeah. I mean, we're on a million vendor lists, and honestly, it's they have to find their style. It just doesn't mean because you're on a vendor list means you're going to get picked.
Also, did you connect with a couple?
Yeah.
And that's it. And when we talk a little bit later, when we get into kind of just like the wedding itself, I'm excited to know how you guys connect with couples. I would imagine being the husband wife, that's really, especially as it relates to weddings, that to me is a huge advantage to be able to have. So speaking of weddings, can you guys remember your first wedding? I think you kind of mentioned Connor, Emma's first wedding, where she may have gotten lost, but did maybe first one individually or working together, do you recall that experience?
You were there with Kevin and Brittany's wedding?
Mm-hmm.
That was in Lodi. It was 110, 15?
At least. It was so
The
hot.
photographer went home because she passed out. I remember that. Anyways, great couple, really fun. I think I had a 5D Mark II, which is pretty old, I guess you could say. And a drone and some stuff. It turned out great video.
But now that we look back on it, we're like, oh my god. You always feel like, oh my god, these colors are now compared to what we do now. Since we learned so much and just different gear, different everything. It's for back in the day, it was not back in the day. It sounds like
back in the day.
But for then it was great. It's still a great video, but now we evolved so much and gotten so much better, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you take it from where I was 16, 15, using, old stuff, and I still have the drive that I have all of that MITZFA footage, because I was shooting MITZFAs primarily. It's just night and day. It's crazy.
And did you feel, because I feel the same as a DJ, to me the MITZFA it almost parallels with a wedding. I always call MITZFAs junior weddings, right? I mean, do you agree in that sense?
I can just speak. I think MITZFAs in the Bay Area are way higher end than weddings. I mean, we're talking $500,000 to $1 million where they're bringing in Lady Gaga's producer, if not her, or renting out a whole boat where the cruises Pier 29, literally gutting the place and making it an entire different 3 multiple stages $1 million MITZFA. I have not been to a wedding where they've upped the MITZFA game. I mean, it's insane. Yeah.
Wow. It's also the Bay Area though.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, she's true.
Well, the Bay Area is the Bay Area. It's a different animal, but I think it's something to speak to because I don't think a lot of people know or realize that. And that's the thing is you're describing these are things you've been a part of. So it's you've been exposed to these huge events that have taken place, but let's agree that a lot of that takes place in the Bay Area and maybe not so much in Sacramento or this part of Northern California.
Well, it's hard. It is hard because when you get something of that scale and you're pricing those out, then getting a regular MITZFA here in Sacramento, they're nowhere near alike. And having to adjust accordingly to that, we will. Hey, we're not having some crazy, we're just doing a luncheon after. we do adjust to that. So it's not just crazy $1 million MITZFAs. I mean, Well,
I smile at that, Connor, because I probably have done 200, maybe 250 bar bat mitzvahs, and on maybe 2 hands I could count ones that have been over the top. There hasn't been many in Sacramento. So it's interesting. Maybe a bucket list item is to do a mitzvah in the Bay Area, or even a wedding in the Bay Area. I'll have to keep that one in mind. So
we'll get you there.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. So I have to ask you, knowing that you do a lot of things, specifically to, once again, weddings, what is it that you guys like, or maybe don't like, about the wedding industry? What's your attraction to the particular industry and what you're able to do?
I love the emotions that the couple has, because I feel like we also do quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, whatever, and it's just the kids are over it after a certain point of pictures. They're like, okay, whatever. But the brides and groom, especially the brides, want their pictures and are so excited, and it's the day of their life they've waited for, maybe since they're little kids. They dreamed about it, and it's just so many emotions. And that's the part I love about weddings.
Yeah, it's fun.
So much, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's happy.
So much fun. Yeah, it's a happy day.
Well, and do you guys like the fact that you actually get to be together, right? I know you said there's some challenges, right, in terms of working together. I get that. But when you think about it, you get to spend that time together, whereas if one of you didn't do it, that is time away from the family.
Well, honestly, it feels like we're hanging out and having fun together. And I mean, we're kidless. Yay, Mom. Thanks, Mom. Shout out. So again, it's fun. We have fun. We make it fun. We joke with the couple.
Work.
It doesn't. And we joke with the couple.
That's the best part.
Yeah. And the couples love it that we joke around. I mean, and it's great. It's probably what we're going to get into, but she can hang out with the bride.
Right.
And while she's getting the dress on, and I can go chill with the boys and kick it with them, at a pool table, or just get to know them, and really that's just a nice kind of dynamic that most people can't get.
Nice. Okay, so Connor and Emma Cable are with us, and before we go to break, just kind of 2 or 3 more things I want to break down, and that would be your strengths, right? What sets you guys aside from other companies, besides what we've talked about? The fact that you are a husband and wife team, I think that's unique. The fact that you do offer photography and videography, I think those are the known things. What would you describe to someone to say, hey, these are our strengths, and this is why we do what we do and why we're so good at what we do?
So I'm going to kind of go into this. Well, first of all, in our engagement shoots, we take them to the next level. And I really felt it the other day. I saw an abandoned barn behind this couple that we were on their property, or the parents' property. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was 3 fences away. And I'm like, hey, I would love to do that barn and bring some lighting out there. They're like, let's hop the fences, let's go. And I trekked through rivers with my gear. I haven't posted it yet, but I did a whole thing. And then at the end of the shoot, I mean, they made dinner and stuff, and I'm like I was just telling them, I feel like I just poured my heart out into this shoot. We really care. As far as logistically, what the advantages you get, we'll help you with, if you need any questions on planning. You'll get the experience. We won't come to you on your wedding day and ask you many questions. We're going to work with whoever we need to work with, which comes with experience. But also it's we know how to light really bad situations and make them really great situations. That is the biggest thing. I can't tell you how many, there's a million photographers out there. And my dad says this, wait, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, they say natural light photographer, but they just don't want to say, I have no clue how to use a flash.
It's true. I know we're going to get a bunch of hate for this.
Yes.
Because everybody in their
I said it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's true. It's true.
That's great.
It's really true. If you're not using flash, it's because you don't know how to. I know people that have gone to school for photography, and you know what? I go, okay, let's get the flash out. And they're like, that's a lot of work. How do you sync them? And I'm like, excuse me right now? How? I don't understand. And so anyways, it's doing those things, doing the creative things, video. I mean, we literally have probably $100,000 to $200,000 worth of video gear. That is literally what Hollywood uses. And we are constantly paying to innovate, to get the best of the best of the best.
To provide the best quality for the couple at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
And we're bringing on more people that, we have teams that we have scoped out for years that I've been watching on Facebook and stuff, and I loved their work. And then after 2 years, I was like, hey, guys, want to work with me? And they're like, yeah. So, on the video side. Also photo, we have teams for that. But that's really what sets us apart is you get us, and you get to experience that. And I mean, to be honest, like, I'm shooting for my dad, who's like 10 times as expensive as us. And the billionaires are literally loving the product, and like, we want him to do the next one. I mean, so literally, essentially, you're getting us for 10x less than what you would be paying, you know? So that's another huge thing.
I think it's a whole experience. Like,
yeah, and you got that whole skill set, right, that you've learned from Dad. Let's just go ahead and get the cat out of the bag. Tell everybody who your dad is. Maybe give a brief little something. We got to give him a little love on the podcast here.
Yeah, so my dad is Jeff Cable Photography. That's his thing. Right now he's in Peru shooting with a group, and he's headed to the Olympics here, I think.
Next week.
So he's one of
gone.
He's literally always gone. So he does tours and stuff, but he is one of the only ones that are going with Team USA. That's not part of like a news agency or something. He's actually like him by himself, so he can go to any event he wants. So he does a lot of sports. He's the MITZFA king in the Bay Area. He does like 99% mitzvahs, but then, sponsored by Canon, which helps us too, so that's cool. So we get some perks there, but yeah, he's very good at what he does. He's very good at teaching me, and so he's very hard on us as well. Like, he critiques a lot of our work, and many that we think is great, he's like, that sucks. And we're like, what are you talking about? We do have different styles, so I'll say that. We're a little more like the artsy style because of weddings and stuff like that. But I think that does set us apart a little bit as well. So, that's him, Jeff Cable. You can follow his blog. He blogs through the Olympics and all the back end of everything that goes on. And there's so much stuff you don't know about within the Olympic Village or events that he tells. And, people love that. And I think he has like 1 million readers on his blog. So check it out. It's pretty cool.
All right, see, there you go. So Jeff Cable, and this is the product of Jeff Cable, Connor, and then his beautiful wife, Emma, having a baby after a wedding. I mean, we've had so many stories that we've been able to share. Wanted to ask you about marketing. What is your marketing? What do you do for your company? I'm always curious about
that. Is the ultimate question I would love to solve every year. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, we do Facebook ads, Instagram ads. We've done that for the last season, I think, and it was pretty good.
Okay.
The outcome, and then this year we have not done that.
Yeah, we pulled honestly.
I don't even know why I don't know why we did not do that, but I don't know why didn't we do
Well,
that?
okay,
we're gonna solve that mystery right now.
I'm literally like always innovating the marketing and like to.
But you're trying to.
Well, I'm trying to, yeah. It's an ongoing thing, as you know. See, like, I
agree.
Like, there's no magic key, and sucks. Like that you can just be like, this works great, do it. Like, from using, the Not Wedding Wire, I want to throw in the trash. I canceled them a couple months. They're an awful company. I'm just going to say it right now. No, awful. Couples we got from it, we don't even want to deal with, whatever. And we're lucky.
Like
fake leads and stuff. And we get to pick the couples we want to work with, and this just doesn't fit us. Zola is not bad. Not here or there, like very, very little amount, but you know what? It's not very expensive, so that's great.
And then Thumbtack.
Thumbtack is good. It's very expensive. It will drain you. So you have to be a little bit careful with that. There is a lot. We kill it on the video side on Thumbtack. So promo videos, corporate videos, nonprofits, events, galas,
we also weddings kind of.
But also weddings, yeah. So it's just a little more competitive on the wedding side of that. So we tend to adjust maybe a little bit back on the wedding side because there's you don't want to drain the bank account turning all those up. So and then SEO, we don't really do much SEO. We probably should. We're sponsored by Zenfolio, so they're a website hoster slash where we do our galleries. So anyways, just trying to think, and word of mouth, like from you, having that relationship with you and
100%.
trying to give you as much as you can and your sons, and then you kind of do the same to us, and then we're on your website and you're on ours, and blah blah blah, like that in itself has been huge, honestly. And those are some of the best leads, the referrals. I mean, we don't get many bride and groom referrals. We'll be honest, like we don't know why.
I know. I feel like the couple we met a couple. We shot their wedding a couple of months ago. We met them for lunch the other day just to catch up. Whatever, they moved in our area, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we throw your name out there to all our friends all the time." But then we get nothing. So I want to say they throw it out there, but I don't think the friends.
Gotcha. It's almost like a loose lead, right?
Yeah.
Like people love you, they're gonna say something, but then what happens?
Yeah.
On
so
that
the friends
in
don't
between?
reach out, and so that's what happens a lot too.
It's a lot of competition. A lot of brides, I think, want to have the best wedding, and
And
maybe
different.
maybe we're not their style. We don't like the airy,
Natural
super
light.
bright, natural light look. Like, sorry, like we're more true to life, real, like good, bright, like bright and vivid, bright, not airy. And so, we know that that's our style, and we're a very documentary type style. And I mean, if people want that airy, bright, blown out style, we're like, look, we are not the ones for you. Like, it's not going to work. Sorry.
Well, no, and I think that's okay. I think, when it comes to weddings, there's going to be personal taste. And I think, a big thing for me, I always say you can't take anything personal, right? It doesn't speak to anything that's bad about you or me or whatever. It's just everybody has different styles, and people that are going to cater to a certain style, that's not your style, then it doesn't match up, and that's okay, because there's plenty of weddings out there, there's plenty of events out there, and the work that you do is going to showcase where it needs to showcase, and people are going to be drawn to that. So going back to the Facebook and Instagram ads, I am a little curious about, like, can you give me a ballpark figure of what you would spend on that, and how you would know what your feedback is? That one is always curious to me, because I don't know how you would know what you would get unless you ask people, hey, how did you find me, right? That kind of thing. So could you help me out on that one as it relates to ECC?
It's hard to track that stuff.
Okay.
That one specifically. And I've had to learn the meta dashboard pretty extensively, because if you press the wrong button and it goes to like an extended audience, which isn't just Facebook and Instagram, and their impressions are on other different third-party sites, you're losing money, and it auto charges that card. And so as far as tracking, it is not easy at all.
Okay.
It was going to
we had the
back end.
base thing.
Yeah,
We
so
had
like the back end.
dashboard,
Yeah, we had a dashboard that was ran by some guy, and it was super complicated, because basically you have to go down into each ad set and see what ad people like, and
Different.
yeah, you need like 4
text
different
with
ad
pictures
sets.
and-
Then within each 4 ad sets, you need another 4 ads. So it's
It's
4
super
different copies with 4 different
Yeah, it's
pictures.
really
That's
complicated.
too much.
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
I can't think that much.
yeah. So basically, if you want to track money, how much to spend, that was probably our worst ROI as far as, I don't know, probably like took 30, 40 grand off 5
Okay.
grand spend.
Wow. Okay. But you know what? At least you tested the waters,
Right.
and then and I think that's true with everything. You mentioned Wedding Wire. To me, what I found out about Wedding Wire, if you're new in the business, then it makes sense. You're kind of putting your name out there. You're getting cold leads. Maybe you land 1 or 2 of them and stuff. But once you become established, then it goes more to relationships like this, right? Getting to know people. And then I think there's other ways. The SEO, I do want to share with you guys, I think is a big deal. So I think it would be worth your while, because you guys have a great website. Finding someone who specializes in websites and takes care of that SEO, because the guy that did mine, and unfortunately he doesn't do websites anymore, that was a big thing. He's all, Steve, we're going to make sure that when people type in whatever, Sacramento Wedding DJs, that you are near the top, right? If you type in buzzer ball I'm definitely going to be up there, right? But not everybody's typing in buzzard ball to find a wedding DJ. But he did such a good job that really the people that I have coming in, because of what they find on Google, like that was a huge leap. So, even though we're on a podcast, I can offer that advice, and maybe that will help you guys out. So, there you go.
No,
we're here to help each other. Okay, before we dive away for our first and only break and come back and actually get to the nuts and bolts of a wedding, pricing. What is your thoughts on pricing because I know it's going to be so different based on all the things that you do, but also you're thinking on, do you share your pricing or how does that work? I know people have different trains of thoughts, and you are also photography and videography, whereas I'm a DJ. So as a DJ, I don't mind showing my pricing, but I know it can be different for different vendors.
Right. Honestly, sorry, Aurora stepped in. She heard pricing. What? So with pricing, we don't put it on our website, because it's like, I think maybe we should in the future, just because it is just weeding people out. People don't understand how much back end goes. Like, like you go to the event, you do it, you clean up, and you're out, right? Like, there's a whole weeks of editing and stuff. But you and other people, we get a lot of market feedback from other couples. There's people that are just outrageously expensive. Like, we talk to parents and brides, like, I paid $10,000 just for the photos, but that didn't come with the photos. And I'm like, you paid $10,000 for what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what are you getting for that? Like honestly, that's a ripoff. Like, we are in the middle, I would say, and we want to know your scenario before we outquote you.
Got it.
But standardly, we can tell you, like if you're just doing photo, and again, our packages aren't purchase photos after, because brides don't like that, we found. And so people want not just brides, everybody. People just want the photos edited on a link, and they can send out the link to people, and they can download them.
They also want a price, like, this is the price, there's no extra fees, after the wedding, like, this is extra, like, it's just, this is it, pay it or not.
Yeah, if you want prints, you can pay that through us. My mom works for the printing company, and you can buy those, you can buy an album, but for the most part, it's send a link out to everybody. You can download a high-res image, do whatever you want with it, so
we also have bundle pricing for photo and video, which a lot of people like too. So they don't have to deal with two vendors, they have one vendor, bundle pricing cheaper, so that helps too.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, so like photo and video together for a full wedding is going to run you $7,000, which video is a lot more work, but we discount that video. And then obviously we have packages that are higher with a lot more crew members that we have. But that's basically the base. And, we have day rates for corporate kind of work that are like, if you want photo and video, this is the day rate for this, and we work all day. And with the 7,000 package that we do free engagement shoot, so we go out to the couple or they come to us to a spot. We figure out what they like or what they enjoy together and whatnot. And we do that. All images are edited really, really quick, and you can use it for your save to date. You can use it and print them, again, through my mom or your own thing for when people come in for the wedding, sign-in boards, whatnot. You can have great pictures, which is pretty cool.
But I feel like final, we're in the middle of the price. Like, we're not super cheap, we're not super expensive. We're in the middle, like Connor said. But I feel like we do really, really good quality work for what we charge. Yeah, so
I agree.
There's like, of course, way cheaper photographers, but then you see they're working like you can't even charge anything more.
PSA announcement: if your aunt does photography and only portraits, she doesn't do weddings. Just so you know.
Oh man, Connor dropping some gold right here. I love it.
We
I
found our
love
aunt.
it.
Sorry, we don't need you.
I think the big one, my takeaway is, hey, if you're a photographer out there, I'm going to be watching photographers from now on. If they don't use a flash, I'll be like, ooh, okay now.
You better pull out your phone, buddy.
Photographer.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my gosh, good stuff. Okay, well, hey, we got a lot of information packed into just this first part of the conversation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dip away for a quick break, give you some fun facts as it relates to photography and videography. Of course, we are talking to Connor and Emma Cable of ECC Productions. It's been a great conversation so far. When we come back, though, if you are a couple that is getting ready to get married and you kind of want to know what it looks like, because this truly is a pull back the curtain, you're going to get it all from Connor and Emma when we return right here on Let's Talk Weddings. Don't go anywhere. All right, how about that first part of the conversation with Connor and Emma Cable, offering you an interesting story in which Emma had their second child after the last wedding we just did. Pretty good stuff, and a lot of great nuggets of gold I thought dropped in there by both Connor and Emma. When we come back, or after this break, we're actually going to get into what actually takes place in the wedding with someone like Connor and Emma, being able to capture a couple, and then all of the planning that takes place, wedding day, and then the biggest question I think that usually takes place with photography and videography is how long does it take to get those wedding photos and videos. So this is kind of our fun fact segment. So I'm going to break into the photography segment, and this is pretty interesting. It's something that I've always wondered, right? You obviously want a quality wedding photographer, but do you know that wedding photographers take as many or as close to as 9,000 shots of a wedding? Can you imagine? My brain blows up thinking about how many shots, especially 9,000. So it's interesting. They say 5 to 9,000, but I don't think anybody's taking just 5 shots at a wedding, but thousands of shots. Now, the next question is, how much of it is used? Well, the work that is used is about 10 to 15%. That's right. That's kind of the average. So think about that. Wedding photographers up to 9,000 shots, and they only use 10 to 15%. So that's from the photographer standpoint. From the videographer standpoint, this part, it may not be a fun fact. It's more of a suggestion. I would suggest that you get a videographer, because photographs are one thing, but videography, you've got movement, right? And so unlike photographs, it kind of reads here, wedding video captures the genuine emotions and reactions of you and your loved ones as the day unfolds. And I think that's pretty important. From heartfelt vows to tearful speeches, joyous celebrations, the video immortalizes these raw emotions, preserving them for you to cherish for a lifetime. I will tell you, I got married in 1993. Love my video. I do. I love my video because it brings everything back to life. How I moved, how my wife Kristen moved, what the day like, how it unfolded. And I remember we spent, I think it was like $1,300, and it was the best $1,300 that we'd ever spent. Now, I don't think that price exists anymore 31 years later, but I guess my bottom line is get yourself a videographer. I think it will make a big, big difference. In fact, hire the guests that I have if you're in the area, because they're going to speak right to it and, in fact, break down weddings for you. Let's get back to Let's Talk Weddings.
Now back to Let's Talk Weddings, where wedding dreams meet industry experts. This is your backstage pass to the world of wedding vendors. Here is your host, Steve Buzzard.
All right, welcome back. Here we go. This is going to be the final part of Let's Talk Weddings. It's been a fun conversation so far. Connor and Emma Cable. If you didn't hear it earlier, we talked about a great wedding story. We just recently did a wedding in which, good friends of both of us, and they get married, and then Emma has a baby. That's right. It happened. As soon as they got home, they went to the hospital. Beautiful baby. Child number 2. Good stuff. And we are talking about weddings, and we've really got a lot in that first half. And now we're going to get down to what does it look like for ECC Productions when they find a couple, or a couple finds them. So let's talk about that, about how someone makes initial contact. We're going to kind of go through, from top to bottom, an experience with you guys. So I'll let you guys take it from there.
Yeah, so we get our, either through our emails or whatever, the info, like, hey, we're interested in new packages. What do you offer? Whatever. Here's my number. So we reach out to them either via text or phone call right away. And then we're like, hey, when is a good time to talk? Or we love to do a Zoom call just to like feel them out, see them, get to know them. And I feel like it's more like you and I right now. It's more personal. It's more fun to like actually see their faces. So we do that. So we're like, when is a good time for a Zoom call? We set up a Zoom call, talk to them, feel them out, tell them like find your style, like we said, like do your research, no pressure.
Yeah, we're big no pressure. Like a lot of these people, like if you don't book us now, it's gonna go up $2,000. It's like right. Do your research. Find who you guys want. We'll still be here. Date might be available. Date might not be available. Deposit, sign contract. If we don't have those, it's available.
Yeah. So.
See, and I think that's a big part of it is kind of that piece right there, because you never, especially as it relates to your wedding, you don't want anybody coming across as a salesman, because once you do that, to me, that's red flag. I'm out. I'm going to the next person.
Yeah, 100%.
That's us too. We're the same way.
So we always say like, no pressure. Take your time, do your research. But of course, like Connor said, if the date is not available anymore, it's gone. Like
But we have but honestly, we have our own teams. Mm-hmm. So we do turn people away when we have like 3, 4, 5 different things. Like after probably like 3, 4, and 5, we won't take and we'll refer out. So yeah, we have our 2 teams. More than likely we're open, but if not, then we'll send you some good other person's number.
And I think that's an important piece right there, because again, there's the difference, right? Like for me, if I'm booked, yes, I'll refer them to other DJs that I work with, but I necessarily don't have a team. So that's the difference. You guys actually have a team, so it's still keeping business within your business. But I would imagine as people are coming to ECC Productions, they obviously, if they could, want to have you. And I think that's the personal connection, correct? That kind of sells it.
Yeah, that really does. We try to do them together as most as we can. But again, like,
if we have to, we split up and we have our own teams, and it's fine too, fun too. But the best, of course, it's working together.
Okay, and I would imagine people book, year and a half out. That seems to be pretty standard. You'll get kind of some of those that are last second or whatever within a couple months, even sometimes a couple weeks. That does happen. Yeah. But traditionally, would you say year and a half?
Honestly, because my dad does refer us a lot of business. Mm-hmm. We're out already end of 2025 for a booking, not like full until then. Yeah. So yeah, we do have dates that are blacked out far out, but I mean, people book us 2-3 years in advance, but then you get your pick at vendors. So, and we're like, the first thing we say is, great, this is far in advance. Lucky you get to pick the vendors you want. And, so anyways, you might get a lower rate, because I know if people booked us 2 years ago, they got a way lower rate, like a steal.
Absolutely.
And so we're still doing them. We're like, oh, wow, okay, they got a great deal. Like, wow. So anyways.
Because prices do go up, right?
They do. We get busier. We, have babies. We have babysitters. We have insurance. We have gear. We have this. And we have all of this overhead, and we need to cover it. And at some point, it's just not worth to do it if we don't cover our overhead. It's a business, it's a family business.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to use the example of someone hiring you for both, for everything. So photography and videography. Talk to me about the planning stages. I remember Hannah describing it as a wedding coordinator, and I kind of had an idea, but I had no idea after she explained it to me, and it made me realize like the importance of a wedding coordinator. Same goes here. Share with anybody or everybody what the planning stages are with a couple leading up to wedding day.
Okay, so like I said, we do the Zoom, and then they book us, and then we schedule the engagement shoot, and we do it on their schedule because we're pretty flexible. Like Connor said, wherever they want. We had a couple, they met in a bar, so we went to that bar and did an engagement shoot there. So just different stuff. It's fun, and we do that. in advance, just because we don't want them to like be stressed, and because leading up to the wedding they just get more stressed and more stuff happening. So get it out of the way pretty much, and then do that, and then we just like catch up, like, hey, are you like your wedding is coming up, we're excited to capture it, and like reach out a couple times until the wedding, and then we're like, hey, what's your room number, where are you getting ready, getting the details, hopping on a quick call again, just to like catch up and see where we're at.
Another thing is look at the timeline.
Yeah, look at the timeline.
Not everybody has a planner.
Right.
So
True.
you have to think about, if there is a planner, to look at it. I mean, some planners are great. Some planners are like
Getting started.
don't even know what we need, and they're just like, okay, you're gonna give us 5 minutes for family pictures? No. Like we and so anyways.
Yeah, that's a big part. You're right.
Yeah, looking at that, and if they don't have a planner, we already know going in that we may have to step in and move things around ourselves. Like, hey, this is running late and your ceremony starts at this time. We're going to move that right after your ceremony, and we're going to help out. I mean, it's not our favorite thing to do, but it's like, we want to make your day go smoothly. We'll let you know we're going to move that and get your approval very fast and easy, so we're not like, you're not focused on that, wasting their time. But that's something else you're paying for, is like, we're going to make sure it moves along smoothly, because the smoother it goes, and you as a DJ help us a lot with that, especially during the party. I was talking not really during the party, but even during the party, you might have to move something around. It's your decision, and it reflects you. Because if it doesn't go good, then they're going to look at you, right? So that's the biggest thing, is just getting a crew that can do that and just manage maybe a bad situation a great way.
Well, and I think that is a very, very important point. Connor, you brought up some really good things in this podcast. That being another one, is that you need to realize, couples out there, if you are not having the coordinator, that usually us, the vendors, become the coordinator, right? Because we know what a timeline is or how it should look. I don't like lulls. I know Connor and Emma don't like lulls. And for example, even when we were at Kevin and Alyssa's, we kind of had to shift some things around, because listen, no wedding usually will start on time. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah, hold on. If it's not late, it's not a wedding.
Yes, exactly. I agree. It's just like when they say, when the cops show up, it's been a party, right? It's kind of that same thing. I have maybe done a handful of weddings that started exactly on time, and even after that, nothing else was on time. So you've got to flex all the way through, and because as vendors, as Connor alluded to, we have to make sure that the couples are at ease. So we're kind of doing it almost in a flawless way. So a good question, if you're a couple, is to ask, especially if you don't have a coordinator, is the ability, DJ, the ability, photographer and videographer, would you be able to help out with those kind of things? And the people sitting right here talking to you right now would say absolutely yes. I would say that it needs to be a part of what you do, because you just never know. But there are some vendors out there that will be like, yeah, I don't do that. I know there's DJs out there that won't even talk on the microphone, which I cannot even comprehend to myself.
And also, I think couples should be aware of this. If you have a planner assigned at a venue, there are very many that do a good job. But just know it's not an official wedding planner. Like, they may just clock in and clock out.
Yeah, they're just there for insurance reasons for the venue.
Exactly,
just
insurance.
Because they have to be there.
Right.
So they're not as invested, which is
no.
Sometimes they just look at us. What do you want to do? And we're like, great. Like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do it our way. Let's go.
So Connor and Emma, you mentioned those engagement photos, and I think that's absolutely genius that you include something like that, because my guess is that that's your opportunity to get the personal touch outside of a Zoom call, right? Like, Zoom call will give you something. I love Zoom calls because that's how I meet my couples as well. But once you get out there and you physically see each other, you shake each other's hand, you give each other a hug, you do the work, that's really going to give you kind of the picture that you need of what's going to be the preview of what the wedding day will be like.
100%. I feel like that breaks the ice 100%.
Yeah.
And then gets you excited for their wedding day. They get excited. We get excited. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're like,
I mean, that's the thing. We love it too, right?
Yeah, we're like, you're great. That was so much fun. Like, let's grab a beer sometime before your wedding if it's far out. And it just gets us excited. Like, we were so stoked.
And then you feel like, oh yeah, this is like, because I feel like we always book great couples. Like, we had barely any couple where we were like, oh my God, we didn't like them, or we always like hit it off right, and we always had a good connection and like just fun together on the shoot, on the wedding day. And yeah, it helps a lot that you meet the couple before the wedding and you get to know how they work in front of your camera. You know, a lot of people are like, I'm shy, I'm not really know how to pose, da da da.
Everybody says that.
And then we just like break the ice, and they have the best time. They love their pictures. It's beautiful pictures, so that, yeah, I love the engagement shoot.
But also, if we get a funny feeling and it's not someone that we will vibe or work, like, we know those feelings now. I mean, some of the times we're just like, hey, we're booked, like, so we are fortunate enough to be able to say we want to work with you, because we know how to fish out people that we just don't want to deal with, like, it's just in the industry.
And Connor, another big nugget right there is when you're in the early going, yes, you're going to have to say yes to a lot more. And based on experience, that's when you get the opportunity to filter out and say, yeah, these are the couples that we want to work with. I hope everybody understands.
Right. That. Like if you realize 1 or 2 weddings pays our overhead. Any more than that for the month, like, I don't need to work. Yeah. Neither does Emma. We could focus on those 2 clients and make their work absolutely gorgeous, which we do. And just sit home and enjoy our time with our kids. And that's a great thing is you too. Like, once you cover your overhead, you're great. You know, like, it's a small business and that's what it is. So, I mean, it is really nice to be able to be at that point, like you said.
Yeah, love it. So as far as touch points, does it vary with couple, or do you have certain times that you do reach out? For me as a DJ, I tell couples, you can talk to me as much or as little as you want. I always give them full access to me. Right. But usually we'll talk about a month out, go over timeline and music. What about from your standpoint? Do you have certain touch points before the day of the wedding?
Not like said, not like, a month out we call you. But like, for sure, like now we have a wedding in like a week. And today we were like, oh, we should reach out. Be like, hey,
it happens, right?
Yeah. So... But definitely.
But we've been talking to the coordinator already. So, like, we provided a COI. We carry all the insurance and everything.
Oh, yes.
We've provided, and they've asked vendor meals. We've been dealing with them. I'm sure she's been talking to the couple.
And we always say, like, you can always text us, always call us. We're always here for you. Like, we're not going to ghost you.
It's Emma's our number, cell phone number. They're getting directly, and we encourage them to text us, hey, I just want to know about this. Hey, I like this picture. Hey, I like the style. This is a great spot. Whatever. They literally are texting us directly. There's no through numbers or anything. You're literally just hitting our cell phones. So
I love
and
that.
We're happy talking to people. Like it's we get to know you. It's good and open communication.
It can also help your wedding day a lot. Like
that's the thing. The wedding is a people business, right? Yeah. I mean, it is definitely a people business. Okay, so now we get to the day of the wedding. And just tell me how it began. Like, you wake up. You can even use Kevin and Alyssa as the example if you want to. This is the last wedding we just did. Yeah. Great couple. What did that look like? Obviously, we have a baby at the end of the story, but that's not a normal day. But tell us what a normal day would look like on day of wedding.
Well, I think, it is how it goes. There's no I think. First, we usually go to the bride's. We want to get her getting some makeup on. We always show up way too early. She always is like, come on. But anyways, like sometimes 11 o'clock, she's getting her first layer on. We get some. We don't really use it. We usually get when they have more layers on. Then we step out to the guys. So Kevin was at his dad's house. Alyssa was in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then went over to the guys. Guys take, 10-20 minutes. They're just chilling and having fun. Then we go back to the brides for dress and details and her getting earrings on in the end. Details, are probably like first, right when we get there, just to get them out of the way. So anyways, getting that, dress shots within everywhere. Then after we finish that, and she gets dressed on, usually it's just straight over to wherever the ceremony is. Theirs was in a church, full church wedding. So we
get detail shots of that.
Yeah, detail shots of that. Set up
for video. Video needs a lot more time to set up.
A lot
sound,
more time.
Tripods. It's a lot more than I can just show up my camera. You know.
Yeah.
So we do that, and then the ceremony happens, right? And then
there's a lot of moving parts to video on ceremony.
Yeah.
Right.
And then after the ceremony, we obviously do a couple pictures, and then the big part is the family pictures, right? And then some people like to do it right there where the ceremony happened. Other people like to move to a different spot. That's what you talked about before, right?
Shade, 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 shade,
Yeah.
shade.
Okay, so you say shade, shade, shade. I was wondering, do you have any certain style to doing family photos? I've always wondered about this because photographers do it differently. And so what is your style when you're taking family photos?
Shade, shade, shade. If there's anywhere with spotty spots of sun,
Yeah.
anywhere on anybody, you're literally going to ruin the photo. And some people will argue this, or photographers will argue this, oh, you can do it in post. Why just not shoot it right in the camera the first time and make it look really good with a little bit of fill flash? Yeah. That's the key. Listen to the photographer. I know some people really want a spot, but let me just tell you, it will look so much better. If there is no shade anywhere, then ND filter on the camera, blast the cup or the people with like off-camera flash, and fill the face to kind of blow the. It's complicated, but basically that's worst case scenario, and that's it's time consuming, but it's like that's but you can make it work. But anyways, just shade, shade, shade. So if you can do a shade.
And Connor likes to be the free spirit, like, oh, now let's pull the mom and da da da. I like to have, if the couple is willing to do that, a list, so we don't forget anybody. I like to be more organized like that, but that's our difference. But
I started eliminating people. Grandma first, because you can't stand very long. Boom, you're out this, and like I just that's the way I do it. Emma doesn't do it that way.
He also forgets some people, so I like to have a list and be organized like that.
Okay.
But if you guys are too busy to do a list, we're gonna whip it anyway. But yeah.
We'll get it done. It's just a matter of which way the couple wants to do it. That's pretty much the way we're going to do it.
And again, that goes to customization of what the couple wants. So in this case, they got married at a church. Now you're coming over to Firehouse. So this is two separate locations, which is very common. There are some places where everything's all in one, but this is not the case. So take me to now coming over to Firehouse, and where do you go from there?
So
I had to go with my crew over with video crew. Well, I'm a Family Pictures. I booked it over to Firehouse because I want all the detail shots done. She could just snap them in 2 seconds.
But he needs it also done with no people. Like you want a full, like showing the venue with all the people like sitting around, drinking, talking. Right. At some point, yes, but when you want to show off where everything is going to happen, it has to be empty.
And it's like literally racing there. Like we're not just just.
Even though it was like 5 minutes apart, but it's
people were already there. Yeah. I mean, you were already there, so and people were already there. So I'm like to my guys, guys, go. I got sound being hooked up. I've got this being set up. Hey, Steve, what is the order of the timeline for this part? Like, when do I need? Because at a certain point, like, their wedding was slow, 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 boom, 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 boom. And it was just go, 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 go. And there's different lenses and different settings, blah, 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 and different lighting in different areas. And so most of the part, that ceremony, I was playing setup and producer while I had my crew like, okay, make sure you get this, make sure you get that. And then helping Emma out a little bit, like, I mean, she was pregnant. Here, let me set up the flashes. Like this is what you need to do here. This is what you need to do there. She knew what to do. I just needed to help her do things. So that wedding specifically, I was running around a lot. Everything turned out good. It's just there's a lot of different spots. It's where you were, it was closed.
Right.
Where outside and doing speeches, it was open. Oh, so what do you do with the lighting situation? You have to do two different things, and the photography lights, you need to move them onto the dance floor immediately for first dance to get the beautiful photos. So again, It's so hectic. A lot of people just hate this industry because of that stressful aspect. But if you know what you're doing and you're not going to miss anything, well, it doesn't have to be stressful.
Yeah. And I think that's a big key right there. And you got to love it, which I know you guys do. And so you're doing different aspects of what would be the reception. You know, there's different things with the grand entrance. You're going to have speeches. You're going to have toasts, different components. A big component that happens, and I would love for you to speak to this because, again, this looks different, is that time that you take the couple out, right? Usually they call them sunset photos or stuff. So I know there's different ways of thinking on this too. What is your way of thinking when you take the couple out to take those special photos before they re-enter in for the rest of the night?
Well, honestly, I was so we know the couple is more so the guy is going to be done with photos after family photos. They're just like sick of it. But look, I was so bummed with Kevin and Alyssa's wedding. He planned that wedding like insane.
Yes,
so, which is very rare. But I wanted to do so many shots because if you realize it, I can make amazing edits with slow-mo and shots together and sunset, and they were just such a good-looking couple. Sorry, I said it. We like good-looking couples.
Yeah, good-looking
I'm sorry. They were beautiful couple, and he was just so over it. He's like, we're doing one shot and done. And I'm like, oh, dude, like, oh, you could be such a poster child for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, we did the shot, did what we could with it. It was fine. But we highly recommend just let us pull you for 10, 20 minutes and let us just do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Please. It makes a world of a difference. It makes editing better, makes your video better, makes your pictures better. That is the key moment. Don't slack on that. If you want to cut somewhere else to not be as tired as photos or tired of photos, I mean, don't really cut anything. Just, we know you're going to be over it. We're going to get it done. I'll even bring you a drink with us. Like family photos, sometimes if you're at the same venue, we will bring you a drink or the planner will bring you a drink so you can enjoy it with your friends and whatnot. But again, yes, please let the photographer do what they do. It's gonna make your video, especially video, it's gonna make your video a million times better. Just realize we don't get a lot of B-roll of you. B-roll is like the aesthetic video stuff. We don't get a lot of that until that happens. So if you don't have that, what do I have for establishing shots? I don't have much. I'm not gonna show your people dancing, your speech, your ceremony, your kissing your ceremony. If you watch our highlights, it's just very little moments of the things that you think that are going to be there. So,
okay.
Again,
so the one thing I keyed in on there, Connor, is that you said 10 to 20 minutes. That's the big piece because
20, eliminate 10.
Okay, we'll go
10. 10
sorry,
per,
10 is
10
not
per
enough
thing.
time. I know
10
that.
video, 10
I know
photo.
that.
Okay,
because what I'm getting at is that I have done weddings where literally the couple has been gone for I've done one. They were gone for 2 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah,
it ruined the whole wedding because it was like, where are they? Do we get started? And then everything got backed up. And, listen, that was a rare case. But for photographers that take away the couple for too long of a time, I think it really hurts the wedding. So if they can do what you have described in a good amount of time without the wedding suffering or the reception suffering, I think is double thumbs up.
Really quick. You made such a good point. Look, we do not like tell you, look here, turn your head here. I mean, we will tell you for certain shots you need, but like getting ready, there's a lot of photographers that will sit there, and we have, as videographers, have been there and just pounding our heads against the wall because like, Mom, look here and touch here, touch here, touch, and we're like, dude, this is not natural at all. This is not fun. This is just awful. And then there's many photographers that will steal the couple and just go forever and ever. Look, guys, P.S. another announcement here. Most of those photos you see on Instagram at night and stuff are done with a separate shoot date, not on your wedding day. It's nowhere during the wedding. And if you want that, schedule time with a photographer outside of that. It's seriously, like don't ask, like, we will let you know we can do, but also like, yes,
yeah, it ruins the wedding.
it ruins the wedding. Like seriously, guys, do people that are experienced and know exactly what they want to get, and maybe we'll have some fun and be like, oh my god, this is gonna be so cool. Let me do this real quick and be different about it, and not get the same photos every wedding because nobody likes that. We hate that. We know the boring shots. So again, be quick. That's such a good point because doing video, they do 2 hours, Steve, and guess what? They let the videographers have zero time with us. Oh, well, you need time. Well, yeah, I need time. 5 minutes. Well, let me get this. And then all of a sudden the planner's like, hey, we're done. And I'm like, what the heck? I need my photos. Bye. And we're like, oh, great. Here we go again. Video's nothing. Great. They just paid us $4,000 to basically get ignored. And, you know, Emma has to stand up sometimes for herself. Even to the mom. Even the mom's like, we need to go. And Emma's like, look, you paid for this. If you say that where is this? I'm going to tell you, you told me right now to go over there and we're done. So just remember right now.
I'm respectful and
well, it's true. We just want to be honest. Like they're paying.
You don't go at him, Emma. You don't go at the mom, you know.
She's German. She does. But you know what I mean? Like we want to cover our butts as well. Yes. Right.
No. And that's understood. And see, these are the things as they're coming out, like people, I'm sure you don't really think of this, but these are the things that we deal with as vendors and making sure that this whole wedding experience goes smooth. So for you guys, the last part of it is the dancing. So as the DJ, my favorite part for a photographer or videographer, and you guys are always so gracious about this, is say, hey, I would love to have some cool dancing photos, that I could use for marketing. Obviously, we give you credit and stuff. And so I guess the first question is, dancing photos, tell me about that. And then the last part would be the turnaround. That's always going to be the big question, is the turnaround of how you get things back and how quickly you get them back to the couples.
Yeah, so dancing photos are fun. Again, all remote flash and one on camera. Getting in there with that 15 to 35 millimeter lens, super wide. So we're in there over you, and in there with the dancing and getting it are the best shots, as you saw the other day. And just being in there, you really see the action when you're in there. That is cool. There's slowing down the shutters I showed you where you can do the light stuff, and I want to do a couple of those. They're cool, but you want to get
there's also just so much dancing you can get. At some point you're
maxed out.
You're maxed out. You're like, I got so many, and then it's always the same people on the dance floor usually.
Yeah, so, but that guy did a splits. He was what, 6'7"?
Right. That's right.
That was crazy.
But Emma, I think you hit on the right thing, because photographers that hang out like the whole time, I agree. I'm thinking in my mind, man, there's only so many shots you can take. But within that, what happens is I think you get moments. So it could be a certain song, and we saw that a lot with Kevin and Alyssa, right? That dance floor was packed from beginning to end, and there were certain songs that just made the crescendo of the night just go a little bit higher. Like the one time Kevin gets raised.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they held him up. Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, that's a great shot too with him up there. Yeah, so you're right. But we tell the couple, like, look, if you're not doing an exit, then we're out. We'll like put our stuff away. Say, hey guys, we got everything. We're good. Bye. Have a great night. Party the night away. Then you don't have to worry about anything, which you probably already forgot about us. And then as far as delivery time...
But also it's because we don't track hours.
Oh, we don't track hours, by the way, which is the best part. Nobody wants to be nickeled and dimed at the end of their wedding to stay another hour.
Like you said, no wedding is on time, so...
Right.
It's going to run late. It's going to go later than you think, and then your schedule says so.
I like that you guys include that, because that's a huge relief.
Yeah. And we work literally almost every wedding. I say we work all the time more than 12 hours. Like... I mean, like, if you price it out with another photographer, like, good luck. So, it's really, it's less stress on you guys, or on the couple. But, as far as delivery, photos, we like to be a week, sometimes 2 weeks if we're slammed. And we'll give you sneak peeks right away. Like, we'll download the right ones that we want to edit. Yeah. And we usually know as we shoot, like, okay, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one. And then... video highlight, sometimes I do it the next day, Again,
usually you do it.
Usually
And
next
Connor,
day.
you're really good at that. Like you shot some promo videos for my basketball camp, and the turnaround on that, and it just, you know what it showed me is like you just have the eye for it. So while in my mind I'm going, man, that seems very difficult for you, it's your riding the bicycle moment. Like, yep, let me hop on. Yep, got this. Dun, 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 here you go.
Well, that's a good point. Like I film specifically to how I edit. I know what I need. When you bring in other shooters, it's hard. And my cousin said this, like, I need to edit with you because I don't understand what you want. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. Like, when I went into your basketball camp, I shot, I think that same day I had the edit ready. And, you know, it's kind of because I came in with that vision when we talked on the phone. And I'm like, this is what it is. But I needed to see what I was going to get first, of course. But so back to the whole wedding thing, highlight, we say 2 weeks just to cover our butts. Same with, I think now in our contract for the full 40 to 60 minute full video of like a documentary video of your day is coming in at like, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks. Again, like we had our, I'm colorblind, very colorblind, and video color grading is literally an art. And we have guys out in Hollywood that color grade our video to make it look the best as possible. And for instance, he wasn't responding to me, and to find out he was in the hospital.
Oh, no.
So I actually sent that to Kevin and Alyssa and said, "Hey guys, I just want to make you aware. Like, I didn't know he's in the hospital. He caught a bug." And his wife actually messaged me and said, "Hey, I just want to let you know." And well, we hope this didn't cause any issue with the couple. And you know, they're great, so they're like, "Yeah, no worries. Like, we got the highlight." I sent them like 2 highlights because I just felt like I wanted to make another one. And then Emma sent them all the pictures already. So, anyways, they were cool about it. So we are very open if there is an outsource that we do use like that. If there is a situation, we'll let you know right away.
Yeah,
there's
we
no
like to
hidden
communicate,
stuff.
Like, this is where we're at right now. This is the issue. This is what's happening. Just
Love it. I mean, that's, to me, 2 to 3 weeks, like that. That's a good turnaround, right? Because I know back in the day, it used to be months, right, before you saw your stuff and everything. So as we finish out, you had mentioned, like, you know, the number of events. You guys do so much. So weddings are, you know, a piece of what you do. But as it relates to weddings, what are some trends that you see from your side and what you do that are in and ones that are going out?
Trends is Barnes. I mean, our best friends are photographers too in the area, and Barnes, the washed out photos is such a trend.
I love the champagne thing.
Oh,
that's a trend. Like Alyssa and Kevin did. It's beautiful.
The champagne tower.
Yeah.
And shoot the flash right at
them.
them.
Right now, I love it. I'm all here for it.
Yeah, that's a trend. But I think really the whole washed out thing.
But also what I love, sorry to cut you off, but it's the bridesmaids that they have different color dresses.
Oh,
and
okay.
Not all the same, which is a big trend right now, which I love. Like, love, because it's just something different.
Yep.
And
anything you see going out? Like what is stuff that, you know, I've seen, like, okay, so give you an example from my standpoint, DJ thing is that a lot of couples now are doing their first dance as soon as they come in on the grand entrance rather than doing it after the toast.
Yeah. Cake is going out, man.
Cake is going out.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But thank God.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guys, stand here, look at us, boom, cut, and they don't even care, like, oh, I'm going to eat a cake. Nobody watches, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
Nobody watches.
That's so true.
And so those, whatever, we've seen donut walls, those are fun.
It's cool, cool other options other than cake.
Pizza was one, that was fun. I would totally go for the pizza. Yeah. By the way, it's Emma's and I 4-year anniversary.
Today, yeah.
Today?
Yeah, it works.
True.
And you saved it for the end? Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It works for the podcast.
Yeah, true.
That's
except
sweet.
we,
Well, that's a
except we
perfect
just
way
went
to
to Vegas, so.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to go out. Well, any advice that you would give? I mean, I'm going to tell you, both of you in this segment, it was so loaded, I think, with great information. I just want to make sure there's nothing we missed. What advice would you give, whether it be to a couple or to, you know, someone getting in this business that is considering either videography, photography, or in this case, both?
Find a dad that has a good discount with Canon. No, just kidding. No.
For couples, for sure, do your research. Don't get pressured into anything.
Don't jump.
And don't jump. And also, like,
schedule consultations.
Yeah.
Like schedule them. They're free. Nobody should charge you for them. Who do you feel most comfortable with at the end of the day? There's many different price points. Just if it's too good to be true, it is. Yeah. All right? That's what it is. Video, be cautious with scamming or not, what's it called? Not seasoned people losing footage. That video is so much of a different ball game, and there are so many like bottom feeders that just aren't good. And I really just am saying that from my heart. It is your special day, and we really don't want anything happening to your wedding video. I have examples from old brides of elopements that they send me their footage after we do their real wedding. Wait, you did their wedding, Katie and Matt.
Oh yeah, Dead or Dings.
Dude, I should show you that wedding video. It is awful.
Really? Wow.
The elopement. Oh my god, like it's literally unusable.
And that's the thing is that this, unfortunately, these things are out there. They're just out there, and yeah, if this serves any purpose, it would be like really do that research. And I like the fact that you said find someone that you vibe with, right? Because that's the other thing. I think everything will come together when you have that kind of that nice, I guess, relationship, and you feel good, the vibe is good, and you kind of know, well, if the vibe is good, I kind of feel like everything that goes along with it's going to fall in place.
Right, and if you're getting into...
Can I step
Yes.
Oh. Okay, Steve, sorry. The baby is crazy.
Oh, no, go. I mean, Emma, do your... Yeah, I mean...
Okay. Oh, my God.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, show him.
Wait, we get to see baby? Oh my gosh!
Oh my God.
Oh.
His name is Kevin. Just kidding.
Yay!
Oh my God.
That's good stuff.
Thank you so much. It was so much fun. I wish.
Of course. Happy anniversary. We got new baby. We got great information. There goes Emma, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what was the question you said?
Well, no, I think you hit it. Was just the advice, and then...
if you're getting into photography or videography,
yep.
One thing. Photo is way easier. Gear-wise, what you carry, stress, everything, editing, it's easier. If I could do photo my whole life, I would be way better off mental. And also, I have 200 terabytes of data in my office that I'm constantly backing up to 2 drives and bringing it somewhere else. So, and photo is like 100 gigs per wedding. I'm at a terabyte a wedding. So that's the difference. Video, if you're going to do it, get the right equipment, do your research. There's always something new in the industry. I'm the worst because I buy all of it. But at some point, when do you have enough gear to where you just want to make the money and save the money than just buy it all? I could take probably a 5D Mark II, an old camera, and shoot a wedding, like tomorrow, and get great photos as well. So gear is not everything. And photo, video, there is many things that you should look out for or study. So it definitely have to be a capital.
The technology is probably like anything, evolving. It's always evolving and everything. And I know you like your toys and stuff, right? To be on top of it. And like you said, Canon, little help right there. So yeah, good stuff. So tell us, how people can find you, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so you can go to ECC Echo Charlie video.com. You could call us, text us. Texting's easiest. We're shooting a lot. We do a lot of corporate events during the week. So we are usually in San Francisco. So anyways, texting's the best way to get a hold of us. Through our website, email eccvideoproductions@gmail.com. Again, we get back literally within a minute to 5 minutes to you. We are extremely fast. We're always looking at our phone. We pay for leads, so as you know, if you pay for leads, you're gonna respond really fast. So we'll find a time that works for you guys. We really like both people to be on the Zooms because we know it's not a booking thing, because we all know even video and photo coaches like us to be on the same call because they want to sell us, right? No, it's because we just want to get to know you guys, and then you guys can discuss later and make your decision. Yeah. We just want to see both of you.
I like that.
But if not, and it's not possible, we will make it work. But again, that's just huge advice, and I advise that you guys are they're both on the same page.
Love it. All right. Well, Connor, man, we went deep on this one. But you know what? I always say I never want to shortchange a conversation. I thought this one was very important. You guys really helped cover a lot. So I'm glad that you guys are the first ones to talk about these two subjects, because I think it really will shed some light for people out there. Like I said, it could be other vendors, right, but it also could be for couples too, right? That are kind of looking into this, like what goes into these certain things. So I want to thank you for all the
thank you.
Nuggets of gold.
Yeah, I think this is going to help a lot of people. We don't like to, what do they call it when you gatekeep? Yeah, gatekeep.
Right.
A lot of things. We do a little bit with the pricing, but like you, we're here to help everybody. And
yes,
the more we can help, the more love that's out there, I guess. I don't know.
I agree. No, and that's why I love the industry, because that's the thing, is you form kind of this family unit and stuff of just like brothers and sisters doing different things. And so
right. And we're not clicky. We're not clicky at all. I know the wedding industry can be very clicky. And that actually is one of my pet peeves about the industry, is how clicky it is, and we are not like that. And that's why we shifted a lot towards corporate, because of the clickiness and so anyways, we're very non-clicky. It's just like, it's all about you guys. Steve's like that as well, which is why we get along. And you'll see that very quick in the industry.
I love it. Connor Cable. Emma, she had to step away. Baby duties, right?
Yeah.
So want to thank both of them. ECC Productions. Yes, they do weddings, but they do everything else. We put the contact information in the show notes for you. What a great episode. Number 4 is in the books. Next time, it'll be another vendor. It'll be someone talking about this great industry, the wedding industry. My name is Steve Buzzard. Have yourself a great one. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you so much for listening to today's Let's Talk Weddings podcast episode. Be sure to join Steve next time when he talks to another outstanding vendor in the wedding industry. The Let's Talk Weddings podcast can be found on all podcast platforms, including Apple and Spotify. Let's Talk Weddings is also featured on YouTube under Experience the Buzz. For more information about Steve Buzzard and his work, head to buzzardball.com or follow Steve on Instagram at BuzzardBallExperience.